and welcome to this class. If you could share this with your friends, maybe like the video, that'd be pretty fun, because today's topic is going to be about what's going to happen to you if you don't participate in cardio. It's going to be a timeline video where I'm going to break down what's really going to happen in those decades as a compounding effect to you not taking a stance and improving your cardio. Hopefully it's going to shock and maybe scare you into trying and maybe planning some sort of change to come, and that's why I feel like sharing this would be beneficial for not only you but those people out there who you may be a little not concerned about, but maybe you just want to help them out a little bit and give them a little kick into sorting out a passion for them to get into something that's really going to change their lives for the better. We're going to sort out the 20s, 30s, and then the following decades after that, because it's going to be a compounding effect. If you're in your teen years, I hope already that you're exerting yourself by going out on bike rides and walks, and well, that's what I was doing when I was in my teenage years. And the idea for extra cardio was there. I would play rugby, I would do football, but it wasn't needed because I was already cycling every day to school and the weekends, swimming and just everything. But the winters, it was a bit different. So yeah, the teen years, they almost bring up the same faults that the 20s will, just maybe the 20s is a little bit more harsher on you with the effects. But just know that it's roughly the same things happening there. Just instead of work, it's going to be school for your teen years, or instead of, well, we'll get into it really. So, starting with your 20s. You'll come home from work, you'll drive home, you'll cycle home, you'll walk home, but there'll be no excitement or passion to continue whatever sort of mood you're in into the evening. You will maybe be drained from work and feel entitled to having a rest. That's fine. You will come home, you will sit down, have a snack, maybe dinner if you've come in late, and you'll just sit there and you'll take it in whatever show is on. Maybe the football's on that night, so you look forward to going to the pub or having friends around. You'll have a couple of drinks, some food like I said, and that will be it. There will be no exertion of a physical outlet. You'll be drained and tired from work, and that will continue on into the evening. There will be no reigniting of a flame. You'll get ready for bed, and you'll wake up tomorrow morning, continue the day, and it'll be a cycle from there on. Your weekends may look a little different. You might go out with a family, you might go and see some friends, you might walk around the town or go out to whatever. It doesn't really affect you. There is no outlet for you to just test your body or improve or just anything, and it becomes quite dull, and you will start looking for ways to enjoy yourself. But being in this pattern, it won't be ways to improve. Long-term benefits. These will be short-term goals of fun. Unfortunately, we'll be talking about binge eating, we'll be talking about alcohol, we'll be talking about recreational drugs, we'll be talking about hours wasted on video games or scrolling on your phone. Things that were so much fun in the short period of time that you're enjoying them. But when it comes to a larger picture, well, we're going to get into feelings and emotions that are going to come up surrounding this time in your life when you really should be setting yourself up for the future. See, when you're in your 20s, that compounding effect is amazing. You will, every day, if you strive to improve, you will look back and realise how far you have improved. But it's just so clouded in the thoughts that you have now that you are unaware of how hard it has to be to achieve those goals. down the line. By continuing on with those bad habits that we spoke about, you're going to become a slave to them. They're going to dictate your life, and you'll make plans around them. You'll look forward to doing those stuff. You will meet friends and bond with people who have those same interests as you, and it's just a bad pot to be in, because without the outsource of cardio here and the enjoyment you can feel and all-round aerobic fitness you get from this, how beneficial it is for your physical and mental health. Without this, but with this, you're just equaling out to a poor decision that is going to really affect you down the line. And it might not seem like it now, but you need to be so aware of what's happening around you and how things can come into your life, and you just need to be able to pass them by and let them be. Temptations will arise and fantasies may be promised, but it will not be the same when you're older and you look back and you realize what you've done with the years wasted. It might have seemed like fun, but where will you be? Because, well, we're going to get into what the cardio means and how much that can really benefit your life down the line later on. But right now, unfortunately, we have to dwell in the negatives. So with those two factors coming into view, you're going to find a couple things happening. Like, you'll find a little bit of weight gain here and there around your chin, around your gut, maybe in your arms. A lack of muscle will be developed around your legs. They'll become a bit skinnier, which isn't that nice. And you'll find an increase in risks of heart problems down the line. It's something that is not seen, it's something that's not measured. It is just a setup for what's to come down the line. Think about it, your 20s are 10 years, and that's a very long period of time. So yeah, you will be setting yourself up for serious things down the line by not sorting yourself out now. Your energy levels will drop as well. Your motivation to do things, maybe even get up for work, will be affected by it. And seeing friends, it will become boring. It will become, because it's not the highs you'll be getting from this short-term fun from your activities you enjoy. The idea of doing a good thing will become negative because of how much pleasure you get from these negative activities. And it's strange to say, but you may even become less attractive to the opposite sex or same sex if you're interested in that, because your ideas and outreach just won't be there. It's hard to say, you will become less aspirational to other people. You may seem cool to the group of people you enjoy those things with, but it's not a great period of it's not a great place to be in with those people at all. So your 20s, it's a strange period to be in. I'm in it now, and I can see and feel so much happening around me. Different things being called to me, different temptations being thrown around. But you just have to be stuck on your goal and stay completely ignorant to other things happening around you. It's a strange thing to be in, and you're setting yourself up for the future. But you need to try things, and things that are beneficial to you have to clarify that. You have to try things that are setting yourself up, because by completely wasting time, I've experienced it. You look back and you realise, what was I doing with that period of my life? What was I spending my time doing? Now I'm spending my time making this content. I'm making this for other people to hopefully learn, and they don't make the same mistakes I was making when I found running and gym and all these different sports. That's where I was at my happiest, because I was improving, and I found a group of people where I could improve with them. And even when they weren't there and it was all by myself, I still found so much fun and just fulfillment in being me and being myself, improving on what I once was. I can always look back at what I once was and take it with a sign of respect as to how far I have come. And I'm only in my 20s, my early 20s, So I can only imagine if I was to keep on this pattern and keep on this growth that I feel now, by staying positive, but also being aware of the negatives, I can't believe how far I will be down the line in the future. I'm excited to see it, and I've accepted how good it will be now, then, so I can feel it now. But moving on to your 30s. Now, this is a period I have not yet reached in my life, but through hard research and through talking to other people and scouring websites and books, I think I've come up with a good idea of what it's going to look like if I was to stop cardio now and continue with my life on into my 30s. That setup for heart problems that I did arise in the 20s, well, that's going to start elevating quite more broadly than what it was. It will start peeking its head out, and still it might not be seen, it might not be measured, it might not be traceable, but it is getting bigger, and hopefully that's enough to scare you into starting something new for yourself. But if not, you're also going to have physical changes, like your weight gain is going to be much more noticeable. By not introducing cardio into your life, there is no way for your calories to be burnt off, and your calorie surplus will be completely wrong. You'll be taking in much more calories than what is coming out, causing weight gain. And in your 30s, the motivation to change that it's not really there. It's not there because you are comfortable now with your life, and, or I hope you will be comfortable in your life. And if you're not, well, we're going to get into that in a moment. But by being comfortable, the idea of introducing something else that is going to be challenging in the moment is just not going to be passing through your mind at all. So yes, the weight gain will start. It will start and it won't go away. Talking about that thing before, about being comfortable and not being comfortable, in your 30s, big life decisions and choices and events happen. And this can cause an immense amount of stress. Stress and anxiety. Stress mainly because, well, without cardio, without something to exert your energy into, and without taking your mind off it, because it's such a meditation in the mind about focusing on some specific part of your body when you're running. Without that, your mind is constantly on the problems you are facing in that moment. And the stress can lead to high blood pressure, it can lead to more heart issues and stomach issues, and just all around your health will just plummet. It will just completely plummet if you don't have an outsource like running. Something small that might happen is your mobility will decrease. Without running, you won't be able to have stretches. Stretches to limber up your body and get you ready for the next day or your next run. Cool downs and warm-ups. Your mobility will completely drop, meaning movement will be harder. Things you used to be able to do in your 20s will become a lot harder to do. And it's a scary thought that can happen, especially in your 30s. But without that, without running and without fitness and without gym, it will just compound. It's just a compounding effect that is constantly getting worse and worse and worse, until one day in your 30s you'll ache as you get up. My dad tells me he's in his 50s that he aches when he moves, but in his 20s and 30s he wasn't exerting himself like he does now. He's been going to the gym now for about 15 years, but it's just not, it wasn't there when he was younger, and he's feeling the effects now. And to think that maybe he was playing football when he was a child, so maybe if he didn't have that, it might even have caught on a lot earlier, which is such a scary thought to have, really. Staying with your 30s, you're going to find with the stress I was on about and the anxiety is going to come from past events. It may even be called depression, I'm not too sure. But when you're in your 30s and your mobility now sucks, and you're aching a bit more, and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're seeing yourself a bit overweight, maybe you never, because you didn't lose the weight or you didn't get the body you wanted, maybe you haven't even got the life you wanted to have with a woman that you really, really adore, your feelings of regret are going to be incredible. In a negative way, I should add. Your anxiety of just, why did I not make a stand when I was younger? Why did I not change this? Why did I not step in and go, I need to sort something out here? Why didn't I keep on doing what I was doing? Because you will dip your toes into cardio throughout your life. You'll go on a family bike ride and you'll ride 20 miles, and it felt amazing. It felt knackering at the time, but it felt amazing after on. But you didn't carry on. You didn't carry on doing the bike rides. You didn't carry on doing the runs. You went to the gym in January, and you bought the membership for the year, but you went 10 times in January. You went 10 times in February, but you went 4 times in March, twice in April. May you didn't go. June you went twice. July and August, it was summer. I was on holiday. I didn't have time. Winter rolls around, and it's January again. I'll go to the gym in January. New Year's resolution. That's going to happen. And by that happening, when you are older and you are looking back and you're not happy with where you are, that feeling of regret is, I don't even want to imagine what that would be like. You will just be sad and just lonely with that idea that what could I have been? What would I be right now if I kept doing what I was doing? It's a horrible thought to have, but it might happen to you. We're going to sort on to the next 2 decades, your 40s and 50s. When it comes to the output of cardio, it's going to have the same effect. So the negative side is also going to be roughly the same. It's going to be scary because the same issues that were happening before in your 30s are just amplified to an extreme level now. So the fear of type 2 diabetes, especially in Western countries, is a big one. And unfortunately, if you do not sort out your cardio earlier on in life, or start right now, looking into your 40s and 50s is going to be an issue. I know people that have had it in their 30s. I know people that have had it in their 40s and now 50s. And if you do not have something to combat it, your body is going to be aching for sugar because your diet will be rubbish. Your diet, you have no awareness of what you're putting in your body when it comes to sugar, when it comes to oils, when it comes to just all round negative things. If you're not eating natural, it's going to happen. And type 2 diabetes will be an issue for you. High blood pressure and heart disease will come as a fear, adding levels of stress. It's problems that are mainly happen much later on in life. And these are problems that weren't a thing hundreds of years ago, because people were exerting themselves every day with exercise and mental awareness. But in today we live very comfortable lives where the idea of having something is very easy and is brought to you very quickly. If you want something, you just go get it. It's very easy to go get a chocolate bar. You just have to be aware and say no. Now, without the gym, without running, your strength will decrease, and your bone density and strength in your bones will also decrease, meaning you'll become very fragile, like an old pensioner. You'll become very unable to do certain things. Getting up from chairs will be struggling, getting out of bed will even be harder. But yes, your ability to break a bone will increase. Now, I've never broken a bone. I believe I have quite strong bones. I definitely should have broken some bones. The falls I've had riding my bike or falling out of a tree or accidents at rugby, I definitely should have been able to break a bone by now, but I haven't. But the fear that I could break one down the line is, well, it's not very nice. The idea of knowing you're going to break a bone isn't pleasant to anyone, unless you're a masochist. But, well, yeah, as time wears on and you haven't developed strength in your bones, you are going to become fragile, not easy to hug, as you would probably say. and quite a scary thought to a lot of people, especially in this country, is your cognitive functions will drop. Cardio is such a great way of improving your brain awareness and keeping up to date with thoughts and feelings and emotions, controlling that. And without that, your ability to take in thought and memory will diminish, and the fear of Alzheimer's and dementia is going to skyrocket. It's starting to take place in some people in this country around this time, and I believe it's because of the years of decades now that people just haven't been able to be dedicated to a cardio exercise, or like I said, the gym or cycling, or just something to keep the mind aware. If you just come in and you sit down and you just take in whatever's on the TV or on your phone, where is the mental strain there? There is nothing to exercise the mind. It is just always taking in and taking in. There's no output. See, a writer writes, but a runner will run. And by running, you are focusing on that. You might think you're focusing on the TV, but you're not. And most of the time, you'll be watching TV with your phone in your hand anyway. Well, it's just brain rot. You're rotting your own brain, and it's going to catch up with you. So your 40s and 50s will have a increase of the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia, maybe even starting in those decades. If that's not a scary thought, I don't know what is. The fact that your body is just rotting away, but your brain as well is completely just melting. It's one of the scariest thoughts you can have as a person. And going into your 60s and 70s, well, it is only going to get worse, as you are aware. I'm not even going to delve into it, because the thoughts of what has happened in the past 2 decades and how that increases into the next 2, well, with the compounding effect we've been going through from 20s to 30s and 40s with 50s, I'm sure you're well aware of what is at risk there. But I will leave it on a positive note, because you must understand that whatever stage of life you are at watching this video, you can make a complete change to this. You can put your foot down and change who you are as a person by learning a new skill like running. You are opening the door up. You're putting a blockade in front of what is to come, which I've described in this video, and you are giving yourself a distance for it to catch up to. You're giving yourself a head start, so it won't ever catch up with you. It may down the line, it will with everyone, but you are off-putting that effect by putting in the work now. Change your identity. Why would you want to tell people down the line what you do on your off time? What do you do in your off time? Oh, I just sit down and I watch TV. I watch films. What is that? What is that to you? Do you find it enjoyable, or do you just find it as the only thing right now that you take enjoyment from, when you haven't even tried the other stuff? Now, I sell a course, teaching a crash course on how to start running, and I think it's so beneficial for people just to have an idea of what it means to do it, what it means to exert yourself for half an hour, maybe, and you aren't going to reach the goals that you want to reach straight away. It's a long, slow road. But every time you go out, every time you tie your laces and go out for that run, you are putting yourself further away as a head start from what is catching up with you down through the years of just not doing anything. It's a scary thought, but I believe that anyone can make a change in their lives. I've seen it early on in their lives, and I've seen it much further down the line. But every time they've made that change, it's just a better person at the end of it. It's a better person. And why would you not want that for yourself? Why would you clap and applaud people that are doing it, and yet look at your own life and think you're okay doing the things you're doing? Everyone has a chance to be better. No one is limited. No one. Your only limitation is yourself. So, I believe you should put a foot down and just not let yourself succumb to the easy temptations that are just lying there. Poor decisions are made every day, but one good decision will change everything. So make a change today, I believe. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you could like and maybe subscribe for more content, more encouragement and more coaching down the line. Check out the Instagram. There's a free schedule for people starting at the gym. I was completely unaware when I started the gym of what to do, what days to do what, how long I should give. So that's down there in the description as well, along with the course for new runners to learn natural running techniques, to make sure that they don't slip up, to make sure that they keep on track, because with poor running decisions, which we'll get into, that will affect you down the line, and meaning you may even fall back into those poor decisions we talked about before. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you share this, that'd be brilliant. Thank you very much.